large cities across the United States in the last 10 years. None of them have closed the achievement gap, and none of them have really moved the ball enormously on college and career readiness. However, under the Bloomberg-Klein administration, high school graduation rates are up, smaller high school performance is up, enrollment rate is up, college readiness rate is up, college readiness for African American Hispanics has been doubled. The dropout rate is down. On just about every measure, there has been major progress, and yet you have said, and I quote, "The lights are out, no one is listening," in Tweed, and you've called for fundamental change from the Bloomberg administration. How do I put those two things together?
I'll give you an easy way to put them together. First of all, the first quote is about what I think is fundamentally true. One of the great negatives of mayoral control as Bloomberg implemented. And by the way, mayoral control of education is an idea and a good idea. It can be implemented many ways. The particularly narrow, uninclusive, unconsultative way in which the Bloomberg administration approached is not the only way to do it. So when I say lights are out, I'm saying Tweed is a single building that is essentially impossible to access if you are an average parent, making decisions about 1.1 million school children, and that to me means at minimum there's no feedback loop, and there's very little ability for people to register their concerns and needs. On the question of fundamental change, I think some of the achievements of the Bloomberg years, I applaud them and I would build upon them. I know there's a contradiction, but I would say this much. If we're moving the wrong direction on after school, if we're moving in the wrong direction on early childhood education, or better put, if all around the world there is a greater investment being made in early childhood education in New York City that is just not true, and we have tools to use that would allow us to invest in early childhood education, I would say I'm glad and I'm gratified. I think for all of us, we appreciate that progress. We need to build upon it. If we stopped right here, we would still be failing a huge number of children. And in a pattern of inequality, I think you're literally one of the great experts on this point, the patterns of inequality would continue unabated. If we want to get at inequality, early childhood education is one of the most fundamental tools we have because of children's ability to learn at those ages.